This is John with Vertical South, continuing our series on setting 0 through 6. Today we've decided to go with a 1. We're setting on the reflection of the wall that we set the 0 on. This wall is virtually the same. I've decided to move these blue holes onto the wall. One thing I like to think about when setting a 1 or increasing the vermin scale of the problem that I'm setting is adding more and more components to it, right? So one of the components I've already added is the hand strength component. You can see that these jugs here, although they're still very good, they're much more shallow than the green ones we used last time, and our fingers are just barely behind them. So this is gonna ask the climber to hold on tighter, get a more accurate grip, and to support their weight with less of their hand and more of their fingers. So already we've asked a little bit more of our climber to get to this 1 grade. The climber moving out to the right using sort of similar to our 0, using a right hand, a left, moving to the corner of the wall into kind of a gaston here, and then they're going to start to climb up. I think I'm going to try to add a little bit of exposure to the climber by having them leaned out past this edge here a little bit, just so our newer climbers can kind of get a little bit of the butterflies in their stomach as they start to move up the wall. Make sure it's very secure, but it's going to challenge their head game. So that's what I'm going to shoot for with this problem. An easy way to modulate the difficulty of the moves is just by rotating the hold. Right now I have the positive sides of the hold facing back in towards the wall, towards the left, as I expect my climber to have the right hip on the wall, moving up. So if I find that this is more difficult than I need it to be, all I have to do is just rotate the holds to be a little bit more down pull. And if I want to add a little bit more intrigue or make it more difficult, all I have to do is rotate the positive side into more of a side pull. So Nick has reminded me that the glasses aren't to protect my skull, but my eyes. So we flipped them down. For the V0 video, we didn't have any glasses. V1, you put them on the top of the head. Probably by V2 or V3, you're wearing them over your eyes very consistently. Sometimes when you're setting a problem, you want it to be very consistent and every move is at the V1 or V2 or V6 level. But if you set a problem and you like the way that it flows, but it still doesn't quite hit the grade, you can just introduce a crux and say, well, the hardest move is a V1, so you probably need to be a V1 climber to complete it. I've selected this pinch here. All the rest of the holds were jugs, and now before you're gonna be able to finish the problem, you have to interact with this pinch. Now I can set it 2 different ways. If I put it here, maybe like this, you can already tell, the more experienced climbers will know that my hand is not gonna slot into this quite as easily as my hand wants to slide down to the narrow part and off the hold. Because this is a V1, I'm gonna set it probably like this, so that way as my hand slides down, it slots into the hold and I can get a better grip the further down I grab. My instinct tells me right here, but like my analytical side of my brain says that's too far. But we'll leave it for now. So similar to our V0, I've set all the hands. This is the style and the flow of the setting that I generally do. I've set my hands, and now I'm gonna come back and clean up the problem with the feet and try and modulate the difficulty of each move by putting the foot high, low, just in the right spot, just a little too far, and see what we can get. Yeah, I think this one's just about finished and it's about time to put on our shoes and give it a climb. Cool. Nice, so I think we hit the grade. The movement in the beginning does require you to hold a little bit of body tension, and then the pinch at the end is kind of like the final blow, testing whether or not you've gassed yourself out too much on the jugs, if you're over gripping and now you're too tired to grab a pinch. I also kind of like the theme of stepping over all these pinches like you're better than them, and then right at the end, you actually have to interact with one with your hand. A V1, one step harder than a 0, Please be sure to like and subscribe if you like the content, and check back next week when we set a V2.